Acts of the Apostles 24. And after 5 days the high priest Ananias came down with certain elders, and with an orator, one Tertullus, and they informed the governor against Paul. And when he was called, Tertullus began to accuse him, saying, Seeing that by you we enjoy much peace, and by your providence evils are corrected for this nation, we accept it in all ways and in all places, most excellent Felix, with all thankfulness. But, that I be not further tedious to you, I entreat you to hear us briefly, by your clemency. For we have found this man a pestilent fellow, and a mover of insurrections among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes, who also attempted to profane the temple, and we seized him, and would have judged him according to our law. But the chief captain Lysias came, and with great violence took him away from our hands, commanding his accusers to come before you. By examining him yourself, you will be able to learn about all these things of which we accuse him. And the Jews also joined in the charge, affirming that these things were so. And when the governor had beckoned for him to speak, Paul answered, Forasmuch as I know that you have been of many years a judge to this nation, I cheerfully make my defense, seeing that you can take knowledge that it is no more than 12 days since I went up to worship at Jerusalem, and neither in the temple did they find me disputing with any man, nor stirring up a crowd, neither in the synagogues, nor in the city. Neither can they prove to you the things of which they now accuse me. But this I confess to you, that according to the way which they call a sect, so I worship the God of our fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets. I have hope toward God, which these also themselves look for, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and unjust. And herein do I exercise myself, to have always a conscience void of offence toward God and men. Now after many years I came to bring alms to my nation and offerings, in which they found me purified in the temple, with no crowd or tumult. But there were some Jews from Asia, who ought to have been here before you, to accuse me, if they had anything against me. Or else let these men themselves say what wrongdoing they found when I stood before the council, except for this one statement which I cried standing among them, Concerning the resurrection of the dead I am being judged by you this day. But Felix, having more exact knowledge concerning the way, deferred them, saying, When Lysias the chief captain comes down, I will determine your matter. And he gave order to the centurion that he should be kept in charge, and should have some freedom, and not to forbid any of his friends to minister to him. But after some days, Felix came with Drusilla, his wife, who was a Jewess, and sent for Paul, and heard him concerning the faith in Christ Jesus. And as he reasoned of righteousness and self-control and the judgment to come, Felix was terrified and answered, Go away for now, and when I have a convenient season I will call for you. He hoped also that money would be given him by Paul. Therefore he sent for him more often and communed with him. But when 2 years were over, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus, and wishing to do the Jews a favor, Felix left Paul in prison.